What is up, YouTube family? Thank you guys for tuning back into Bullburn Shenanigans, where we always bring the shenanigans on this channel. Today we head into a completely blinded reaction. People sent this over, heard about it, don't know. I looked him up and see who he was, but I didn't. I showed D. She said she never heard of him. We're going into the Steven Crowder story. I guess that's what we're gonna call this. And basically people are calling him a monster. I don't know what behind. D don't know what is behind.
I don't like videos like this because I feel like, oh,
something serious. Exactly. Y'all about to get a raw reaction because I completely don't know
who this is.
But before we dive in, if you new, make sure you guys subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. Run them numbers up. We trying to hang that 100K plaque before this year ends. So we are almost halfway there. You guys are moving quickly, swiftly, and making it happen. But let's dive into this. I don't know, story, some type of story, y'all.
So a bit of breaking news that just happened, and before we get to it, I just want to back up and tell you why we are discussing this breaking news.
Please let me know.
Because it's occurred to me that there are some people out there who believe that to be a conservative, what it means is that we become tribal and we defend other conservatives even when they do things that are wrong. That we don't discuss things that are horrible on our own side because we need to just make sure that we score wins in other ways, and that is wrong. That to me is the exact opposite of why I have this platform. I am not tribal. I want to expose things when they are bad on the left, and I will also expose things when they are bad on the right. Obviously, I have been interested in the Steven Crowder saga pertaining to his divorce because he literally inserted
saga.
Into
okay,
his
so that's making sense now. We saying saga. This been going on. So you know something. Divorce. So I'm guessing this is getting ugly because a divorce can get ugly. But I mean, what?
I don't want to say nothing yet because I don't know if it's the right thing. Yet.
Okay.
I gotta see his face or
and
something.
His wife and family are now speaking out regarding that video in which he told people
evidence?
publicly that his wife was leaving him. You remember this? He chose wrong.
Yeah.
And he essentially made it sound as if he did not want his marriage to end, but his wife simply wanted to leave.
Okay.
Well, she has responded by giving video, and I want to prep you. I want you to know this is horrific video. It is very difficult to watch. It's especially difficult to watch because in this footage, she is 8 months pregnant. And the video essentially reveals just how emotionally abusive he has been, and she is alleging that he has been emotionally abusive to her, and this video all but confirms it. So
I think I did hear something on this. I haven't seen anything, but I think I did hear something on this.
To allow you to watch it in its entirety.
I drew a boundary. I drew a boundary. No, you just did it. I drew a boundary of abusive and cruel. You were not taking the car. Because if you refuse to do wifely things, then I will go pick up the groceries.
There is no groceries. I do have
Steaks, wood pellets, my grill. I know it's an unreasonable request, but I'll go do it. How about you first? Hillary, how do you respect the man? Yes, other than man, respect. Other than man, receive love and respect. No. Other than man, no, you're not taking the car.
Steven,
You're not taking the car.
Steven,
You are not.
then I will ask them to pick me up. Would you like me to ask?
Oh, that's right.
It's no threat, Steven.
So far already, I can tell like already he's definitely poking the bit.
So from what I heard,
well, you can't tell me the story because I gotta react.
No, I'm saying supposedly, I don't know if this is true, but he's a Christian. So I guess being a Christian, they're like
that title don't mean nothing.
They
Everybody
said
Christian
supposedly
these days.
like she's pregnant, by the way. Like she looks full term.
It seemed
I don't know
like
if you can see that in the video.
He just seemed like one of those guys that's like she trying to get out of it. Like, okay, you don't want me to take the car, I'll get it. Like he one of them dudes that's gonna keep going to get you not to do. Like,
she's pregnant.
Like, dude, you say don't take the car, all right, I get Uber. What? Like, he's trying to find any way to get her.
I think what was sad was when he was like, "Who are you gonna call?" When she's like, "I'm gonna get somebody to come pick me up." She's like, He's like, "Who are you gonna call?" Like,
stupid.
Okay, Steven, I can't.
Feeling some constraints?
Steven.
Like, I can't
Steven.
go. Listen to me. You want to walk out right now? Listen to me. I can't go to the gym. I can't go to my parents. I can't call my friends. I can't be home. You're going to take the car and leave me here. Hillary, just think of how boxed in you've made me.
What do you need me to pick up?
What?
I'll be back when I'm back.
No, that doesn't work either. You'll be back when you're back. That doesn't work either.
Steven,
Do you understand the difference between my life being set to the second and you're going to be back when I'm back?
Steven.
Controlling freak is what he is.
The only way out of
sound
it
like a child.
is discipline and respect. It's the only way out of it, or we're at an impasse.
We are at an impasse.
Good. Because you can't have any discipline and respect.
Steven.
Yeah. There you go. You throw your hand, you give up so easily.
I don't give up, Steven.
Hillary,
Steven?
you give up so easily. I just said the only way out of this is discipline and respect.
how you gonna say give up, right? My thing is like, how are you saying you give up? So you're pushing her, like she's not giving up. She's tired of you, dude. Like you're
tired.
constantly going and going, and it's
and
like
this is like I keep saying, a pregnant woman, they get stressed out very easily.
hey,
They
you
get
talking about give up? Like, dude, nobody want to deal with you. She
At
just trying to
all.
leave.
She's
bro.
trying to go get some groceries.
Like, it's not that serious. Steven, I'm gonna call him Steven. Shoot, Steven.
That is his name.
I know.
No, we are at an impasse, okay?
What's the impasse?
But Steven, you're a beast.
She gotta say Steven so much.
Watch it.
Sick.
Watch it. Watch it.
I'm gonna let go. I'll get what you need me to get. And I need some space. We need to just stop engaging for a little bit, okay? I love you.
She's
I
so
love you very
calm.
much.
Could it be
I
me?
don't love you. That's the big problem. I've never received love from you, and the fact is, when I go, look, I need you to do A, B, C, and D, just be disciplined about it, you go, no. But I love you more than life itself. Okay. Put on some gloves. No. But I love you more than life itself. That's
So
not
you want her
fair.
to be like
It's
a
not fair.
trophy
It's
wife,
disingenuous.
basically? Like,
Hillary, you're right, right then past. Become someone who's in it, day in and day out, worthy of a wife. No, not as a wife. I didn't say as a wife.
As a wife.
Hillary, come on now.
I'm not gonna engage. I'm not gonna engage anymore. I'm gonna go. I'll get text me what you need. I'll get you what you need.
don't get him nothing.
I think-
don't get Steven
I
nothing.
think for me, when she's like, I'm not going to engage, I feel like either
She knows.
they've been to therapy or it's
She know the level
something
he can
they've
get to.
worked on or something. Because like for her to sit there and be like, I'm not going to engage.
Because he probably
Those
get
are
to
like really strong words to me because one, I will never say I will not engage. I'm gonna be like, I'm not going to start with you.
Yeah,
But she's
I
using
feel
it like
like
in a professionalism way. She's like, I'm not gonna engage. It's like her breathing. Like this is her woosah moment. Like I'm not gonna engage.
I know. I feel like he get to a level that she's seen before. She's like, I'm not going there with you. Like I know
I
where
think
you're
that's
gonna
why
go.
she's so calm because her calmness is
Because she probably fed up.
It's
Dealing with this all the time. And the way he talking, I mean,
he's
one
calm
of them,
too though.
But no,
like,
but he
it's
one
like,
of, but he's one of them.
How do you argue calmly?
You know, he one of the
How
ones
do you
that
do
it's a
that?
psychological game with him.
Yeah.
He know he don't got. He's playing mind tricks with her, like being calm. He don't have to get up and he yell. He's just calm, but he's saying stuff that I know he could trigger her.
Mm-hmm.
He triggering her with his calmness. She know where he going.
I love you. I'm committed to you.
Put on some gloves. Are you committed enough to do those things?
I'm not gonna.
Are you committed enough to do those things?
Why did he say
You're not
that?
committed to anything. You're not committed to anything. You just said I love you. I'm committed to it. Walk the dogs. Put on some gloves.
I need
Walk the dogs. Put on some gloves. Are you committed enough to do those things?
I,
Are you committed
What?
enough to do those things? Are you committed enough to do those things?
I didn't get that part.
Walk the dogs. Put on some gloves. Are you committed enough to get the medication the dogs take? No, you take that in.
Wait, push pause. I was gonna say Steven gets angry and angrier, and by his own admission screams, "I will fuck you up." See, I didn't see none of this.
Oh my
Mine was just a little
God.
snippet. I didn't see
Dude.
none. I will fuck you up. Please, they're home.
So that is both heartbreaking and infuriating for me to watch. I cannot
It's
even
pathetic.
comprehend how any man can speak to a woman like that, least of all when she is 8 months pregnant. And sadly,
months.
that
I
isn't
told
the
you, she
worst
had to
part
be
of that
large.
correspondence. The journalist that dropped this video is Yashar Ali. He dropped this as well as a Substack entry accompanying it. On the Substack article, he wrote, "Moments later, off camera, Steven Crowder, by his own admission, would lose control and scream at his pregnant wife in a threatening tone, quote, 'I will f you up,' end quote, which led his wife to flee their home." She then sent a statement, which I want to be very clear. This statement I knew was going to come out. I didn't know any of this information. I had no idea there was a video or there was any evidence. I did know that their family was thinking about issuing a statement, and Hillary Crowder did issue a statement. And I'm going to read you that statement in its entirety because it's important. I think it reveals a lot of the lies that Steven has been telling publicly to his audiences. It reads, "Hillary is currently living alone in Dallas apart from her family and support system in Michigan and is focused on taking care of her young children. She is not prepared at this time to speak about her divorce becoming public or the misleading statements made by Steven about their relationship.
Can't blame her.
The truth is that Hillary spent years hiding Steven's mentally and emotionally abusive behavior from her friends and family, while she attempted to save their marriage. She was the one who was asking to work on their relationship to keep the marriage intact for their unborn
And you could
child.
tell from that little segment of her just.
You can tell she
I
wants
love you.
to
Oh, you like recommitting him, trying to
make him understand, like, even though you're treating me like this, like, I love you,
I
like,
think-
I'm here, and
Yeah,
I feel like,
he didn't want that.
and a lot of women, sadly, like, they feel like they can, like, the man can change or do better, and it's like they stay, and a lot stay for the sake of the
fact
children,
that
like she said.
My thing is the sickening
sad.
part of that is how, for me, just seeing that little segment, how far he could possibly go, because
Yeah.
8 months pregnant, and there's no excuse, pregnant or not, but you have your child in her, and you're treating your wife as such, at pregnant at that level, I'll F you up and all this stuff, dude. Why are you even with her then? Why you marry her if that's how you want to, like, it's like he was trying to create a trophy wife when he said put the glove. Like, it's like he trying to, when I say go, like, when I tell you to do something, that's what he meant. Like,
I think for her, she was finally fed up because she's having another child. I don't know if they have one or more than one, but she is pregnant with one of his children. And I think she knows, like, wow, a children is going to be in our lives. Like, I don't think she wanted the child to experience what she has.
Yeah.
So I think that was, like, her breaking point. Like, I'm done. My thing is, what made her go back to the ring? Like, what made her be like, you know what? I'm going to go look and see this.
well, probably could be leaked too.
In 2021, Stephen left their home to pursue elective surgery. That's very important. I want you to remember that. I'm going to come back to that point.
Elective surgery.
Please.
Hillary urged him to get the help he needed to address his abuse with the hope that their marriage could be saved and they could peacefully live together as a family. Instead, Stephen refused to do so and chose
Yeah,
not
leave
to be
him.
with his wife during the birth of their twin children. After the birth, Stephen bought a townhouse and left their home permanently.
What?
Hillary was not aware that Stephen hired a divorce attorney and asked his assistant to cut Hillary off financially. There was
What?
significant documentation substantiating these facts. I want you to remember that portion as well, because that's another lie that Stephen has told publicly.
She has
We hope that
kids.
Stephen will cease from speaking publicly about these personal matters in an untruthful manner. We also look forward to there being full transparency in the legal
Something I just
process so there
mentioned
is
would be wrong,
fairness and
seriously.
accountability for the actions that caused the divorce and to ensure the outcome is what is in the best interests
Your
of the
own
young
kids,
children.
dude?
I would first like to go
Your
back to that
wife?
portion where she says Stephen left their home to pursue elective surgery, because I know
Yeah.
exactly what surgery she's referring to, because during my first backstage here at Daily Wire, we actually prayed for Stephen and this surgery. So before I show you a clip from us on backstage, here is Stephen describing that surgery, and it certainly doesn't sound like it's elective. Take a listen.
I explained to you a little bit what it is. You know, a lot of people say, why are you smoking? My heart is actually great, but my heart doesn't work great. And the reason my heart doesn't work great is, long story short, because of a connective tissue disorder I have, and my chest is caving in on my heart. So I've got about,
You don't have a heart, sir.
I'm at a little more than half of the blood flow that you guys have, ventricular output from my heart.
All the
So
energy you put out,
it's
like your heart
mechanical
worked perfectly
fix.
fine. Because last time I checked, stress, anger, all that is a big heart condition. My father has one, and I'm telling you right now that you can't have none of that, and you out there acting like that. If your chest is caving in that much and it's that
I'm
serious,
not
I'm not
gonna do
aggravating
all
it.
that. Exactly.
And I
Lion.
don't know, maybe I'll feel like Lance Armstrong, you know,
Look
like
at
I'm
him.
on
It's a
EPO
joke.
after this, because I don't know what it's like to go through life with full blood flow. To me, I'm looking forward to it, not looking forward to the pain. Lance
You saw
Armstrong,
his
by the
comic
way,
channel?
with the 3 balls, not the one. So yeah, it's overall a positive thing, and honestly, I
true?
probably needed a little bit
Oh,
of rest.
oh.
It comes in the form of having my chest cracked open.
Obviously, he had the surgery and then his lung collapsed. And here is us praying for him, praying that he actually gets better.
Before we leave, I just have to, this one thing off the subject for a minute. Our pal, Steve Crowder, who makes the best ashtrays in the country, is
Truly.
in the hospital
Best
fighting
ashtrays?
for his
I think
life.
that's what he said, ashtray.
And he's really come close. He's come close to the dark edge of things. And I just want to say that crazy as he is, we love him, and we're thinking about him. That, we hope he makpe it back.
You're a better man than I am.
Well, that's true.
I was actually just looking forward to the show being over so that I could text him and say, hope you don't make it, pal.
Actually, this is
Hey,
a
we
real
was
story.
all
Last
thinking
night,
it. Don't
I had to
act
go
like
for a
y'all was.
drive
I just said it
'cause
too.
It's a long story, but I had to burn down gas to take my car into the shop. And so I was going to smoke a cigar, and, I was going to say my nightly prayers. I thought, I should probably pray for Crowder, because he's in this. I thought, what's great? I'm going to light up one of the cigars that Crowder sent me.
Yeah.
And Crowder, this guy who's a complete maniac, he sent me these beautiful cigars. And I was like, oh, pal, I'm going to send you some cigars right away from my humidor. Haven't sent him a single thing, you know. But that guy, he, you know, really a generous fellow, and doesn't get enough credit.
I actually did text him and say that we were praying for him at great risk to our souls.
And if he dies, I personally will kill him. Right?
Again, according to
the
his
heck?
wife, this was an elective surgery, really a cosmetic surgery, because Stephen didn't like the way that his chest looked because he had a sunken chest. It was not something.
I know you lying. I ain't making it be
You know what?
African.
Sometimes-
So he went.
Look.
He told us medical. It was really, isn't it cosmetic? Is that what that's called?
Yeah. You know what? I know me don't question the Lord, but sometimes we say, why some people, Lord? Why? Because you know what I'm saying? Look, this dude is online.
Making it seem like he finna
dying
die.
tomorrow. And he went because he don't like the way his chest look.
Sir.
Take him, please. And
I didn't know he had this much hate. I wonder if they're gonna play his what he said on his podcast.
I feel so.
I didn't even know he had a
I'm glad his
podcast,
story out
but-
there so people can know
That was
how ugly he
actually
really
required
is.
to save his life, and yet we see that same pattern of behavior.
So something wrong
Stephen
up
garnering
here. Something
a
gotta be
ton
wrong
of
up here.
affection and prayers from his followers, purporting to be the
Don't pray
victim.
for that man, y'all.
When in
Don't waste
fact,
y'all
the
prayers.
facts don't line up with his
even
narrative.
waste
The
them.
second portion that I'd like to
Y'all
point
wasting
to
prayers.
is where it says Hillary was not aware that Stephen hired a divorce attorney.
That's
This stands in
sad.
stark contrast to what he told his followers when he said how hard divorce was and how difficult and horrific it
For
had
who?
been, and how he really didn't want it, and just
Your
you know,
wife, not you.
Texas is a no-fault divorce state. What is the truth here? I don't know. Obviously, right
He
now
just
we
lying.
have his wife's word versus Stephen's word, but given
In
my
the video.
personal experience
Lying.
with Stephen, I am very much inclined to believe his wife. Now, I'd like to get in some other portions of this article, which I think are really important. The writer has a bunch of audio files and text messages that were sent to him that he was able to review. He writes, in audio files and text messages that I reviewed, Stephen Crowder admits to some of his faults, which include a volcanic temper, repeatedly and at times
'cause it's
regretfully.
out there now.
But according to sources that I spoke to who are familiar with their relationship, Crowder's admissions often came after a sustained period of mental and emotional abuse, and he didn't seem to be able to control his impulses. That, again, is something that
I bet after all the leaked footage you got out there, of course you're gonna admit to it. You ain't got no choice. It's out there now. Now, if this footage never got leaked, I guarantee this man don't admit it. Oh, he lying. He saying his wife lying
I wonder
already.
if they're gonna like show what he said on his podcast. Like,
guys
I'm
said something
curious.
stupid.
Oh, he
very bizarre that he would
did.
insert me into a divorce announcement and
see Crowder in the streets.
purport that I somehow extorted him. It's very bizarre in the way that he attacked the Daily Wire. And there just seem to be a lot of signs that he is not able to control his emotions. And so the question that I will ask is how many people are going to allege abuse from Stephen Crowder before we listen, before we stop saying he's one of us because he says things that he agrees with? We purport that we are the party of family values. How can you look at that video and defend him in any way? How can you
Exactly.
look at that video and not roundly condemn this and say this is not something that actually represents the things that we believe?
Catch some
The writer
holy
goes on
hands.
to
We need
say,
to
like
catch.
so many things in his life in recent years, Crowder's temper and paranoia led him to destroy his relationships
Paranoia.
with Sir
He's just
Shapiro,
making up stuff
Boring,
for
and
fun.
others at the Daily Wire when he posted a video on his channel suggesting that the Daily Wire, without naming the company, was attempting to align itself with big tech by mentioning in their initial offer to him that if he was demonetized on social media platforms, that it would reduce his overall compensation. Well, again, going back to the pattern, it's not just the Daily
You cut your
Wire.
wife income
It's
off, you cut
David
yours off too.
Landau. It's Sven the Computer.
Now you wanna
it's
complain.
Jared Monroe, formerly known as Not Gay Jared, people that are locked into NDAs and are not allowed to speak about the abuse that they endured by Stephen Crowder. It's Owen Benjamin. It's now his wife. Do you believe that all of these various different parties, the majority of them who have never spoken to each other, I've never spoken to Sven the Computer, I've never spoken to David Landau, I've never spoken to Hillary Crowder, I've never spoken to Owen Benjamin. Do you believe that all of these people, as is the paranoid narrative that Stephen Crowder is presenting, are working maybe in collusion with big tech to try to destroy him? Or do you believe it's plausible that Stephen Crowder is just a monster?
He a monster.
I personally believe that he is a monster, and that is, by the way, Stephen, if
We
you're
hear
watching,
what you, girl.
I'm
We
not
hear what
trying
you.
to extort you. I am just simply
Telling
telling
the
the truth.
truth. Yes.
There is a lot of things that are going on,
You better
and
preach.
I
mad 'cause
am
the truth
glad
came
that
out.
his wife found the strength to speak out, and I'm calling
Amen on
upon
that one,
everybody
girl.
to roundly condemn this, to reject this firmly,
That's hard.
not to
It just made me
somehow
think of
come
it
up with
never
an
caught on
excuse
camera.
and say, oh, well, it's a divorce, so we shouldn't talk about it. We should mind our own business. No, the way that we represent ourselves privately and publicly should be the same. If you purport to care about family values, again, then you should care about this situation.
We do.
And you should condemn it. Yashar Ali also added in this article, in reviewing documentary evidence related to their marriage, Steven Crowder appears to be obsessed with the idea that his wife is only interested in him for money. Hillary Crowder started dating him well before he became famous and wealthy. He was
So that's
making
not the
less
case.
than $100,000 a year when they got married. Again, the Crowder narrative never seems to line up with the reality. And on that note, for those of you that are asking for an update, yes, I did send a cease and desist to him regarding his comments that I somehow extorted him. I sent the cease and desist. I heard back from his lawyer, and essentially what I get from this is that his lawyer is saying that this was just his opinion and it was just Steven Crowder's feelings, and even though it wasn't reality, too bad, so sad. Here's exactly what that legal letter back to me said. I'm going to read you a couple of quotations. It says, the simple fact is that Ms. Owens, as shown in the clip, made thinly veiled threats directed at Mr. Crowder that she would release the alleged dirt she had on him if he kept making statements about the Daily Wire. Mr. Crowder's opinions fall short of any defamation. At most, he has merely opined comparatively the feeling of certain misconduct to his own present state of being. Then the subsequent use of the word threats is not in and of itself an accusation of crime, even within the larger context in which it was used. The most reasonable implication is not an accusation of crime, but that threats have occurred that fall short of being a crime. Again, at most, they are simply reminiscent in Mr. Crowder's personal opinion of the specifically referenced type of misconduct. In short, these are his feelings, they are not facts, and his opinions are protected. And to make it clear for those of you that thought there was something going on in the background or that someone had secretly threatened him, his lawyer is alleging that's not the case. He was simply referring to the exact clip that he showed you of me. Nothing else happened. He just wanted you guys to think that he was under duress in some other capacity. In short, as I have said, I believe Steven Crowder is an absolute monster, and I encourage all of the other people that he has victimized to find their strength to speak out now.
Other people.
By the way, his lawyer offered to me that we could both agree to a ceasefire if I agreed that I would never speak about Steven Crowder again. And to him,
He's
I
trying
would
to show
publicly
people
like
up,
to
hush
say,
money.
your client doesn't have that
He about to
kind
be
of
trying to pay
money
people off,
to
watch.
keep Candace Owens from speaking out about things that I find to be absolutely despicable.
You better speak on
And
it.
that's all I'm going to say about that. All right, guys, if you like
Wow.
I feel like you need to see. I didn't see all of it. I'm not gonna lie. I just know like people were talking about it because this was like all over social media and stuff. But I feel like you should see his segment on the podcast about his wife divorcing him.
He probably couldn't. She probably couldn't put it on here because she getting all that stuff. So that's why I
Okay,
seen it.
well, if we can't react to it with them, I'm gonna have to show it to you.
This
after.
is crazy. I didn't even know. Like I said,
You
I
think
didn't.
this is crazy? You have to see his podcast
I
and what
didn't
he
even-
says.
I didn't even know what we was getting into with him. I just know people was talking about
I
it.
didn't even know that was his name. That's why I said
And-
I did hear people talking about it, but I was like, I don't know who that is.
And now that I see this, it's sickening. I can't stand it. That's just crazy. I don't even. And for her to sit here and say like he got people that believe like, oh, his side, like I get everybody got a side of the fence, but believing that mean you part of
But what is his side? You're still disrespecting your pregnant wife. You're still belittling her.
If you feel that,
You
that
are,
mean
in a
that
sense,
whoever
verbally abusive.
that mean that whoever support that act like that too. That mean if you support him the way he talks about, you say the
Exactly.
same thing to your wives, or if you are married, you feel like that's how it should be.
Should she have been talked to like that? No, being pregnant, especially. I'm gonna keep throwing that out because she is pregnant.
Talking
and
crazy
a
on
lot
the
of
side of the
stress.
night.
She don't know what. This is probably just like a little cherry on top. He's probably worse in the house.
Talking to Crowder, let me see Crowder. You gonna catch these holding
Like,
hands out in the
imagine
streets.
like a ring, like if she had one in the house or something. Like you
Man,
don't know what's
Worst
on
man
those.
said, dude, catch these
That
hands.
is so
You can
sad.
catch Crowder. But this crazy. Wow. Oh wow.
I
Yeah, I'm about
hate
to go
that.
look more into this story because I did not know about this. I hope she doing great. The wife, man. I hope I know it's gonna take a lot.
think also
it
because
seems
it's public,
genuinely
it's
she
public.
loves him still, and I think that's what's hurting her the most, that he acting like this, and she
And you gotta
genuinely
think she
still
just
loves
had a
him.
baby, or she has children or a child.
And we
Like,
can sit here and like always tell like D, like we talk about this, like women staying in certain stuff. Like you don't understand how a woman loves, and we always say like, oh, how she stayed there with that person, like, cause they fell in love with a person, and I'm pretty sure the person she fell in love with wasn't who he became. He probably became this monster, and then she had to deal with the monster, trying
and
to
I feel
correct
like
the monster.
yeah, exactly, because she knows like you have potential to be the old you.
And he didn't return,
Yeah.
and he became reckless. That's crazy.
Everybody loves differently,
Wow.
and
I need opinions down below. Let us know
it
what
is
y'all
it
think about
is.
this. Thank y'all for
She
dropping
got
this
out.
off. Crazy. This is crazy. Something different we react to over here. This is crazy.
This is.
But thank y'all for tuning in with us once again. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, share all that good stuff. See y'all in the next one.